Welcome back to Klepper's Corner. Today in history. Today we're taking a stroll through February 24th, a date that apparently decided, what if we cram 5 centuries of geopolitical drama, cosmic revelations, constitutional chaos, technological glow-ups, and a Grammy sweep into a single 24-hour window? It's like history's version of a Costco sampler platter. A little bit of everything, and somehow you still walk away wondering how you spent 6 hours and 2 lifetimes inside. Segment 1, the day we fixed time, and then found a star that blinks like a cosmic turn signal. February 24th kicks off in 1582, with Pope Gregory XIII saying, "Folks, the calendar is broken, Easter keeps drifting, and March is basically cosplaying as winter's encore. Let's fix this." And humanity said, "Sure, Pope, what could possibly go wrong?" And then immediately started arguing for the next 300 years. The Gregorian calendar got rolled out like a software update nobody agreed to. Catholic nations downloaded the patch overnight. Protestant nations said, "Nope, that's papal spyware." Britain held out until 1752, which gave them the existential joy of explaining why 11 days suddenly vanished from their lives. Imagine waking up to find out half your appointments never existed. Some people can't handle daylight savings. Try deleting a week and a half. Flash forward to 1968. Same date, different cosmic meltdown. Scientists announced the discovery of pulsars, neutron stars spinning so fast they might actually qualify for Olympic figure skating. These things blink with laser precision, basically space metronomes. Meanwhile, humanity can't even agree what time brunch starts. It's humbling when the universe is like, "Here, I made a lighthouse out of melted sun scraps, and we're still adjusting clocks like we're disarming a bomb." Segment 2. Opera, royal romance, and the Grammys. Before the Grammys forgot how to count votes. On February 24th, 1607, Monteverdi premieres L'Orfeo, the Beyoncé album drop of the Baroque era. People show up expecting some polite, plucked lute thing, and Monteverdi instead drops a 41-instrument emotional roller coaster. He basically invented opera by asking, what if music did all the heavy lifting and everybody else just tried to keep up? Jump a few centuries. February 24th, 1981. Buckingham Palace announces Prince Charles is engaged to Lady Diana. The world swoons. The tabloids foam at the mouth. The royal PR team spiritually ages 40 years in one press conference. Then, on February 24th, 1999, Lauryn Hill sweeps the Grammys with The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, proving once and for all that perfection is possible, at least for one night before the Recording Academy inevitably messes up again. And because February 24th isn't done with cultural whiplash, in 2020, Harvey Weinstein is convicted, a moment that signals something long overdue. Accountability in an industry built on pretending everything is fine if you squint hard enough. Sometimes history really does show up with a spine. Segment 3. Courts, constitutions, and presidents who treated boundaries like suggestions. February 24th, 1803. Marbury versus Madison. The decision that basically says, surprise, the Supreme Court can strike down your legislation like an overachieving hall monitor. This is the moment America installed the constitutional version of parental controls. Congress writes the rules, the president enforces them, and the court now gets to say, actually, no. Marshall, with the finesse of a man juggling dynamite, simultaneously tells Marbury he's right and that the court can't help him. It's the judicial equivalent of saying, we hear you, we validate you, but we're going to use your dilemma to assert long-term authority instead. Have a good night. Then 1868 rolls in like, hold my impeachment articles. Andrew Johnson becomes the first president to get impeached for a long list of reasons, including aggressively vetoing civil rights laws and acting like the Constitution was a choose-your-own-adventure book where he always picked the pages that said, make everything worse. Congress passed the Tenure of Office Act. Johnson ignored it, and suddenly America is speed-running a constitutional crisis. He survives removal by a single vote, the political equivalent of winning a game show because the judge sneezed.
Segment 4, empires rise, empires fall.
And sometimes empires just throw the rule book in a river. February 24th is a buffet of geopolitical plot twists. In 1525, at the Battle of Pavia, Emperor Charles V absolutely wrecks Francis I of France, capturing him and shifting the European balance of power. Imagine waking up on your birthday only to find out you personally ended the French Renaissance's winning streak. Jump to 1779, Fort Sackville. George Rogers Clark shows up in Vincennes in the dead of winter, muddy, exhausted, and somehow radiating enough intimidation energy to convince the British that maybe today's not the day for heroic stands. Clark uses psychological warfare the way some people use coupons, aggressively and with results. The British surrender, and suddenly America has a foothold in what becomes the Northwest Territory. Then 1821 drops the Plan of Iguala, Mexico's "we're done with Spain" moment. Iturbide and Guerrero formed the Army of the Three Guarantees, which is like the Avengers if the Avengers were really into Catholic unity and constitutional monarchy. Independence follows. Spain packs its imperial bags. But leave it to 1920 to swing the pendulum straight into darkness. Hitler unveils the Nazi Party's 25-point program, a horrifying blueprint for nationalism, exclusion, and expansion. A reminder that bad ideas don't just appear. They get written down by ambitious men in beer halls who think shouting counts as leadership. Segment 5, Steam, Nylon, and the ingenious march toward not using boar hair. February 24th, 1839, William Otis patents the steam shovel. It's the Industrial Revolution's mic drop. What if digging didn't take 5 million years and 12 tired men? It transforms American infrastructure and probably ruins at least 100 shovels' self-esteem. Then, in 1938, DuPont releases the first nylon toothbrush. Before this, people brushed their teeth with animal bristles because, apparently, humanity was just okay with mouth splinters. Nylon arrives and everyone goes, "You mean brushing doesn't have to hurt?" A new era is born. The polymer era, where everything is plastic, everything is mass-produced, and we, as a species, collectively decide we never want to know how toothbrushes were made before this. Segment 6, War, Peace, Sports, Storms, and the Modern World. Choosing chaos every time. February 24th, 1945, the liberation of Manila. A brutal campaign, devastating civilian loss, but a crucial step toward ending the Pacific War. Then, in 1991, Operation Desert Saber, the Gulf War ground offensive launches, demonstrating U.S. technological dominance and showing the world what happens when GPS meets tank warfare. Then, 2022, Russia invades Ukraine, a moment that breaks the European security order apart like a dropped iPhone. Putin expects a weekend special. Ukraine delivers a masterclass in national defiance. Zelensky turns down evacuation with the world's most metal line. "I need ammunition, not a ride." The invasion triggers global realignment, NATO expansion, and enough sanctions to make a Bond villain nervous. But February 24th isn't all doom. 1980, Team USA wins gold after the miracle on ice. 2026, Team USA does it again in Milano Cortina, this time with NHL talent and a Connor Hellebuck performance so good, Canada filed emotional damage reports. And because history loves contrast, on February 24th, 1989, a cargo door blows off United Airlines Flight 811, leading to major aviation safety reforms. Then, February 24th, 2026, Florida loses most of its winter crops to brutal freezes. Strawberries down 80%, blueberries 90%. Climate change basically ordered a fruit wipeout special. Meanwhile, CARICOM meets for its 50th conference, trying to solve the region's problems while the rest of the world debates whether winter is still a season or just a recurring natural prank. In conclusion, February 24th is one of those dates where history says, let's do everything at once and see who panics. It's a reminder that calendars get rewritten, nations get born, operas get invented, toothbrushes get less hairy, presidents get impeached, tyrants get too much attention, wars ignite, wars end, and sometimes, just sometimes, Team USA takes home the gold. If dates have personalities, February 24th is the overachiever who shows up early, stays late, and leaves everyone else asking, how did all that happen in a single day?